On the back of a very successful day up at Middlesbrough, Bristol City will be hoping to continue that good momentum into another very tough game, this time back at Ashton Gate against a 25-game unbeaten run Southampton side, who are just looking like an absolute juggernaut at the moment. Can Bristol City stop them is the question. Here are my thoughts ahead of tomorrow's very, very substantial game under the lights in BS3. Southampton then, they're in the middle of a 25-game unbeaten run. They're second in the table, and if Leeds lose tomorrow and Southampton win at Ashton Gate, they could go 4 points above Leeds with a game in hand on Leeds United as well. So this looks like a massive opportunity for Saints. However, there is no real unknown factor about Southampton because we faced Ross Martin sides before, haven't we? This will be with a lot more quality than that Swansea side we faced a couple of times over the years. However, Bristol City came close to Southampton at St Mary's. Should have possibly been a couple of goals ahead. However, I'd argue Southampton have improved from that point in the season and have become a much better side. However, Bristol City, if we are to have that control on that territory and those chances, are going to have to be far more clinical than they were at St Mary's if they are to get anything out of tomorrow's game. Saints were part of a thrilling game at St Mary's last weekend, a 5-3 win eventually for Southampton. Of course, they won again. They were 2-0 down at half-time to Huddersfield at home. Joe Rothwell set the way with an unbelievable goal. I'd urge you to watch it. It's an unbelievable volley from Joe Rothwell. He scored again to make it 2-2 in double quick time. Huddersfield then retook the lead. However, Southampton scored very swiftly onwards, and 3 goals in the second half again meant Saints got all 3 points against Huddersfield. 2 things from that. They're obviously very good. However, they can definitely be got at if Bristol City take the game to them. However, as we saw against Leeds, even if Bristol City do try to take the game to an opposition with far superior quality, it's about how the opposition reacts in essence, because I'd argue we did try to take the game to Leeds. However, Leeds just were so much better than us. They suffocated us and didn't allow us to have the ball in good areas. I'd argue Southampton are far more possession-based and a possession-oriented side, and far more focused on that aspect of the game, like Ross Martin's what his style is based on. So if Bristol City are to take the game to Southampton, which I'm hoping we will, we might get some joy on the counter-attack rather than trying to control possession, rather than trying to dominate the ball and trying to build that play. Because then I think Southampton will just have more quality than us and, score more goals than us and ultimately win the game quite comfortably. How will Southampton line up? I anticipate it'll be very similar to how they lined up against Huddersfield and have been lining up for 25 games, and the winning formula, I suppose. It'll be 4-3-3, very fluid in midfield. Particularly the centre defensive midfielder will be dropping in behind those 2 centre-backs in Jan Bednarek and Tade Harwood-Bellis, and rotating a lot. I'm sure Joe Rothwell will come into this side because of the absence of Flynn Downs, who's going to be unavailable through injury. Shea Adams looks like a bit of a coin toss as well for this one, so that's hopefully going to be good news from a Bristol City perspective. However, Adam Armstrong and Ryan Fraser are obviously massive threats in this division, and if it isn't one of them, well, David Brooks is probably going to come into the side as well. Still Armstrong off injured, but that doesn't look too major. And obviously, the fullbacks is going to be Kyle Walker-Peters, Ryan Manning, who have been absolutely brilliant for Saints throughout this campaign. Will Smallbone will probably play in midfield as well with Gamba Bazunu as the goalkeeper. So throughout the squad, there is some serious star depth and quality littered throughout that Saints starting 11 and the bench as well. Bristol City are getting some players back. Hopefully Scott Twine will be involved. If not against Southampton, possibly against QPR. Mark Sykes is getting really close, as Liam Manning has mentioned, but apart from that, it's largely the same. However, fatigue will be a massive in part of this. We looked really tired by the end of that Middlesbrough game, looked completely shattered. For the last 10 minutes, we couldn't get out of our own half, just literally down to fatigue. So hopefully that is not as much of a problem. However, there is a quick turnaround, and it doesn't help with the fact there's a Tuesday, not a Wednesday night either. Southampton will have a little bit more rest. They haven't had that cup replays situation either. So this might be a bit of a tough game in terms of an opposition that's very possession based, going to move the ball, going to move the opposition, going to move Bristol City. We're going to have to be careful we don't use up too much energy in not a lot of time. Starting 11 for Bristol City at Middlesbrough was Max O'Leary in goal, George Tanner, Rob Dickey, Zach Viner, Cam Pring, Sam Bell, Matty James, Taylor Garn, Hickman, Harry Cornick, Naki Wells, and Jason Knight. I anticipate a couple of changes. One, Tommy Conway will probably come in with the fact that he came on quite late on. Harry Cornick could be interesting. I think I'd start him. I thought he impressed me, actually. I reckon Joe Williams will come back into the team. Maybe Anis Mehmeti was given a go. I don't know. Maybe Hayden Roberts was given a go, depending on Campering's situation as well. Maybe Ross McCrory's brought back into the side. There's a lot of questions, but it's good to see that Bristol do have some options in a couple of different areas, apart from centre-backs at the moment, where we are a little bit forced our hand. However, midfield, we have options, and out wide, we have a couple of options as well. And up top, in that number 9 position, we have Naki Wells and Tommy Conway, who are both kind of rotating in and out the side every couple of games. If City are to get something out of this game, I think we'll have to be brave, especially out of position. We're going to have to press those 2 centre-backs. I know that might sound a little bit like, what are you trying to do? You're going to leave yourselves very exposed, especially in that midfield, where we tried that against Leeds and we just completely left ourselves in exposed midfield with Ilya Gruev and Glenn Kamara just running the show basically in that double pivot. However, Bristol, I think that's the only way we're going to get any sorts of joy going forward. We're going to have to put pressure on them. Don't be too crazy. In fact, don't go all out in terms of the pressing scenario. However, got to be very smart, got to be aggressive and make it really quite tough for Southampton to break us down. However, it is obviously lots of teams have probably tried that and dramatically failed. That's why Southampton are 25 games unbeaten. Despite that good result at Middlesbrough, I do think it'll be tough for Bristol City to get anything out of this one, unfortunately. It doesn't mean we're a bad side or anything, or doesn't mean I don't rate us as a side. However, at the moment, there is just such a superior difference in quality, and maybe Bristol City are looking at QPR and Sheffield Wednesday as far more important games for the season, and maybe even Cardiff as well. However, this is going to be tough for Bristol City, there's no doubts about that. That's why I'm going to go for Southampton to get all 3 points at Ashton Gate. I'll go for Bristol City to score. I'll go Bristol City 1, Southampton 2. Let me know your score predictions down in the comment section below. If you're more confident than me, please do let me know. And give me your reasoning behind it as well. Maybe there's something about, Ashton Gate on the lights in midweek, making it tough for Southampton. However, with the long journey I'm sure the players have had from Middlesbrough, the general fatigue from the 120 minutes at Nottingham Forest and penalties, I think it'll be very, very tough for Bristol City to get anything from a game against a side with far superior quality, as I have previously mentioned. So that is it for this match preview. If you have enjoyed it, hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Annie Harris Football Channel for more Bristol City content in the future, and hopefully Bristol City, fingers crossed, can get something tomorrow and pull off a bit of a shock result, which will be on Sky as well. Thank you very much for watching. Keep safe, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.